Hello, welcome, Tyson and Teddy Talk, episode 4. Hi, we're here. What's up? It's the week
Not
after,
much. Good old Boxing Day.
Yeah?
I don't know why
Doesn't
it's
that,
called
like,
Boxing Day.
Isn't that like a Canada thing specifically? So,
Mm-mm.
like, it's more so a Canada thing, right?
It's Boxing Day in America.
I mean, it is, but like, who the fuck cares about Boxing Day? You know what I mean?
I mean,
I
people
only
do
knew
because there's so many sales.
Are there?
Yeah.
It's open.
Boxing Day and Black Friday are like interchangeable. They're the same.
Are they? Are they really like? I've never looked. Because, I mean, at least in the video game realm, it's all like holiday sales, like around Christmas. That's just, They just do that. Like, PlayStation's like on holiday sale for like 4 weeks in December.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's like, yeah, pretty much everything. They try to stretch it out as much as possible.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
you would think
I
they
don't
wouldn't
really know
do
if-
because you would think people, I don't know, it's odd because sales like provide like a bunch of money, but they also, you know, if they don't do well enough, they also kind of, you're selling shit at cheaper. So like you would think they don't want to do as many sales,
But especially
do, 'cause
around
you
like
sell more.
Thanksgiving and especially around like Boxing Day and Christmas. Boxing Day and Christmas is where you want to have your sales because a lot of people they'll get money for Christmas, they'll get all this stuff. And then, so it's like, oh, I wasn't going to spend this Christmas money, but now the thing that I was looking at is on sale. And so I'm like, oh, okay, now I might as well bite the bullet and go for it.
yeah.
So there's that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything. I bought some stuff
was
off
thinking-
Amazon, but it wasn't on sale.
I was thinking of buying myself Miles, which is not on sale, but I almost did it, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Oh, I'm gonna get Mafia on Epic because then you get the $14 coupon, and then you get another $14 coupon. They have unlimited coupons.
But why 14 now? It was 10 before.
No, it's 10 American. It's 14 Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then I get like, I was gonna get that. I might get Death Stranding on Epic.
Yeah, it's on sale, right? I think it's on sale on Steam too. But
I never finished it. Never finished it on PS4.
Yeah,
The back, like, I don't know, the back 5 chapters, I'm guessing of that game is very. I'm like, oh, this is the last chapter, and then it's like this huge conclusion, this huge like
then you're like, oh,
cutscene, and then it's like. And then it's like it's like the next chapter. I'm like, what? What more could there be? And then it's like,
Return of the
so
King.
this is the last one. And then it does it again. And I'm just like, okay, I can't.
I'm done.
But maybe I'll have enough.
It's like the hit movie Lord of the Rings Return of the King that I watched half of today. Will I finish it? Probably, but
Probably. Is that, I don't
I
know how many times. I probably watched it like a handful of times. Not that many. It's all right. It's not bad.
I've really only watched the extended editions. Like, honestly, I say that they're my favorite movies, but I've really only watched the extended editions about like 4 times, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just haven't. It's a weekend. If I have a weekend free, sometimes I'll be like, all right, this is what I'm doing. But this time I didn't even like watch it. I just kind of like put it on the background. And sometimes I'd be watching it, especially big moments, you know. But I was just like, we're just having this playing for Christmas. You know, we're just having it playing. So I didn't actually cook any traditional Christmas stuff yesterday. I did all that today because I bought all the stuff and then did not realize how extensive of a process it can be and how much is involved. And then I started to cook at like 6 o'clock at night, and then I was like, this turkey takes like 2 hours. It's like 2.5 hours to cook.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna do this tonight. So I just planned it all out, and then this morning I woke up and did it and had it for lunch. But I had the first half of Return of the King on while I was cooking. You know, it was great. It's great.
And scalloped potatoes. I made those last night, and then I have a ham to make, and I was gonna make that as well.
Nice.
But then it was the same thing. I was like, the scalloped potatoes, I started really late, and then by the time that they were done, I was like, oh, now I have to start cooking the ham, and I'm like,
Yup.
no, that's
Like,
good.
wait a minute.
And it's like I had like a protein shake, and it's like I'll just have some scalloped potatoes and I'll be good. And then
Yeah,
I'll
I started to
have
realize
the rest today.
how many things I bought and how many things I wanted to cook, and I was like, oh god. And I tried to figure out like, oh man, the timing of all of this is weird too, because you want it to all be done relatively around the same time. So what I did instead was I went, because I'm a dork and I'm a very, I don't know, how I operate is very weird. I'm very extremist, and I don't want to be, and I try not to be. But just naturally, it is either all or nothing. So it's like I'm either incredibly well planned or like zero planned. It's hard to like be in the middle of like, oh, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, but I'll do it tomorrow. It's like, and then I realized like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then I sat down with like a notepad and was like, okay, so at 10 o'clock, I'm putting the turkey. I made like a whole schedule.
Oh, I don't make a schedule, but like every time I have like stuff to do, like if I have, like if I want to just be productive in the day, I'll like write out, okay, I'm going to work out. Then I'm gonna shower. Then I'm gonna do dishes. Then I'm gonna do this, and then I'll like put stuff on the list that I've already done that day, just so I can cross it out. So then you
check it off. Yep.
You're just like, okay, yep. We're good. We're getting in a groove.
It's also at the end of the day, you look back and see more accurately like what all that you did, you know, before you even started making the list. It's just,
and like if there's some things that I don't get to, I'm okay with that. And it's like, I don't have to cross off everything.
I've been a little more. Like with my lists lately, I've done that, but then been a little more lax with it, where it's like, you know, it's like, so it's like, you know, I try very hard to put things that I can do that day, and if there are things that I probably won't get to, I'll put it on another list of like, it won't even say the next day, it won't even say like Friday or whatever. It'll just be like another time, just so I don't forget them. But I'll try to
my computer. No, I didn't clean it physically, but I cleaned it digitally. Like I got rid of stuff, put stuff on like external hard drives.
I need to do
so that it's all like free and clear.
Even though I have an 8 terabyte hard drive, I still need to do that.
See, I've got probably like 10 terabytes, but it's spread out over like multiple external smaller hard drives, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And they're all
old.
Just
when I bought a new hard drive, the 8 was only like $50 more than like a 4 or something like that, and I was like, oh, well. And I try to do video editing and stuff too, so it's like it's just a lot of files. So I was like, if I can do this, it'd be great. But I do have like a 50 terabyte, or not terabyte, 50 gigabyte SSD that's just on my OS is just on. So
see, I need a bigger hard drive for that, because somehow mine is like running out of space, and I don't know what I can delete on it. I don't know. Computers are confusing. I did realize the
other day that like I've been recording the video for this very show that you're listening to, viewers. Hello. I've been recording that too as like a backup, and then it's just on my computer. So I have like 3 or 4 of like 10 gigabyte files that I was like, oh shit, I should probably get rid of that.
I go through those and I'm just like, okay, do I need this? Then I'm like, nope, delete it right away. And then
I mean, I also genuinely have like, I have it set so that anytime I stream, it saves the VOD, because I was making like highlight videos and stuff, but like I haven't done that in a long time, and I'm not gonna touch those in a long time. So I'm like, whew. Well, it's probably a good thing with Immortals. I'll start the stream and then stop the recording because I want to save some of my like computer power for that game. So it's been good. I haven't been eating up as much space with that.
I had to do this. I've never done this before, because last night I finished Mass Effect 1, and so and then I downloaded Mass Effect.
Starting it last week, y'all, and now he's done with the first one.
Like I looked at my playtime, and it was like 11 hours and some minutes, and I'm like, damn, that was pretty fast. And I did some like side missions. I didn't do all of them, but
you must like know it. You know what I mean? I mean,
I know where to go. I know.
Yeah. I know that you played it, but like, have you played it multiple times before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I probably played one like 10 times.
Oh yeah. Then okay, that's a weird thing too, because
I always play the same too. I hate it.
Do you like the same character, like
same choices? And I'm like, every time there's the one like a fork in the road, I'm like, okay, this is what I usually go with. And I'm like, but why would I go with that? And then it's just like, it's so tough to like break away from the way you play, especially these like Paragon Renegade games.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's really hard to be a dick when you don't feel like it. And then it's really hard to like do the, like when somebody's being a dick to you, to like, to let it go and stuff like that. It's interesting.
So
it's annoying, but it's like I don't know. I'm it's intriguing because I'm uh curious to see if there's like, well, obviously there's people out there who make drastically different decisions, and it's just like it's cool that like their game is, it's not drastically different, but like there's some big decisions that you can make, and it's weird
yeah,
that like other people make the other decisions.
yeah,
But
and you think back on it, and you're like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Somebody else
like
did this totally different.
like
It's hard to
spoilers.
imagine.
There's like there's I don't know. You can spoil Mass Effect, the first one, right?
Yeah, I don't care. Go for it.
At the end, you have the option to like save the council, but like the whole game, the council is like a group of 3 aliens, and they're kind of all dicks to you. And
Nice.
like they never believe you like when you're saying like we have to stop Saren and we have to do this. So like you can at the end you can get the human alliance navy to help the council, or to like focus on like sovereign, which is like this big ship that you have to shoot down. And you're like, well, we're not going to sacrifice human lives to like save the council. And I'm like, why? Like it's just so hard for like, and so I never save the council. And I'm like, there's probably people out there who always save the council. And I'm like, man, that's fascinating. That's just fascinating.
I mean, I wonder. I always thought about that with Walking Dead games or like Telltale games, but I always like not always, but a lot of times when I know this is completely against the way that you're supposed to play those games, but as soon as there was a decision, if I had a hard time deciding, I would pause and Google and see what happened if you did one or if you did the other, because I was like, I mean, I don't want to make the game like worse on myself if I choose the wrong thing. Like it could have complications that I hadn't foreseen.
No, it couldn't have complications. It's literally a story game. It's literally like,
well, it did. Like there were a couple moments where like if you chose this one thing, like this other thing would happen that I wouldn't want. Like this other character would be more mad. I know, but like I don't want to.
No,
but if I could prevent it, I'm gonna prevent it. You know?
No, no.
I know that you're not supposed to.
I am very against, and it's like it's tough for me playing these games again, because like I thought about it, because there's a part in the game where you have to send one of your teammates to like help another team, and I'm like, I can't remember if this is the one, if this chooses who dies, because like one of your squad mates dies no matter what. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't remember if this is it. And I'm like, okay, well, if it is, then I'll sacrifice this person. But it wasn't in it, like you make a decision later on. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try and play Mass Effect 2 differently. And so I had to like open up this config. I mean,
you're probably gonna play it again when you get the remaster, right? So it's not yeah, it's not like this is any sort of definitive playthrough. You might as
That's true.
Fuck around.
I probably should just play it more like the comfortable way that I know how to. And then when
but that means that you're doing the same things. At this point, you have all the opportunity to just mess around. Like when the remaster comes out, see all play it your normal, comfortable way, because then you'll see all of that in the new remaster.
The one thing that's tough is that the class that you choose as well, because you can choose a class, and then some classes have powers, some are restricted to like certain weapons. And I've just always been a soldier class because they have all the weapons, and so it's like it's really tough to break away from that as well. But
I mean that's
I'll
gameplay.
Try.
That's more like I wouldn't change that too much, you know.
But yeah, I'll make some decisions, and I do like Mass Effect 2 a lot more, and so that's why I kind of wanted to just power through Mass Effect 1 and then get to Mass Effect 2. I played that game probably more than Mass Effect 1.
I mean, segue, sort of. The best segues are when you call them out right now in clear as day. This is a segue. No, so like when you were talking about how fast you went through Mass Effect 1, it reminded me of like one of the things I do. I don't know why I mentioned this last show, but I will. On Christmas Eve night, I will open up the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection and play through the opening bit of Uncharted 3. Don't know why. I just do. Well, I know why I did it for the first couple of years, and then it just became habit. So now I just do it anyway. But I did that again this year, and I was like, dude, Uncharted 3 is one of those few games. There are very few games like this for me, where like I go into that game and it is ingrained in my memory. Like there are certain moments where I will be like, oh, there's treasure over there, and then I turn around and grab it, and I'm like, why is that still here? That shouldn't be here. It's like that should still be in my brain. But yeah, no, that game, man. And then the next day I actually because I was thinking about it. I was like, I shouldn't do this. I'm not gonna do this. But I was thinking about like, in a dream world, if I had all the time in the world, I would play through Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 and Lost Legacy. And actually, I would play through all of them again, except for the Vita one. And I would try and platinum them. It really bums me out in hindsight that I never actually platinumed Uncharted 3, because I actually did platinum it on PS3, but the crushing trophy didn't pop at the end, which basically means like to get it, you have to do it all over again. And I was like, oh no.
On the Nathan Drake collection, you can cheese that. Because you can play it on crushing, but you can turn on like cheats. You can have like...
I tried to do that. I looked into that. That is definitely Uncharted 4, because I did that in Uncharted 4. And I was like, is there a same thing in the Nathan Drake collection? And I opened it up, and at least in Uncharted 3, you can't. There are cheats, but they're not helpful. Like there's a couple of cheats that's like one that's one-shot ammo and one that's infinite ammo, right? But you have to beat it on hard or crushing first to get those cheats. And I was like, oh, because I did beat Uncharted 3 on the Nathan Drake collection when it came out again, but I did it on normal. But yeah, so on PS3, when I got all the other trophies, so I played that game like multiple times because I played it normal, and then I probably played it a few times on normal just for fun because I like really liked that game, and that's one of the few games I've replayed just for fun. And then one day I was like, you know what? I've done this so many times. Let's go for the platinum. And then I replayed it again for the treasures hidden around the world. And then I played through it again to do crushing, which I beat and then didn't get the fucking trophy. But like the way I played that for crushing was really like totally fine, because I basically just opened it up once a month, maybe. Every now and then I'd be like, you know what? Let's do another chapter or two. And then I'd open it up, do like 2 or 3 chapters, and then for like 2 or 3 hours, and then hop off, and then hop in another month. So I just chipped away at it for like a year. But then when it didn't pop, I was like, oh god damn it, fuck this. I was like, I'll do it in the collection, and then I never did. So I don't know. I'd love to go back, but I did. Just because I was toying with the idea, and I didn't really have much to play because the stuff that I want to play for fun is Immortals, and like I'm only playing that when I'm streaming. So, and I didn't really want to stream at the moment because it was Christmas. I was trying to like let myself relax and whatnot. So I opened up Drake's Fortune and played through the first 2 chapters, I think, on crushing and getting like the treasures, which is fun because like I don't know, those games are really fun to go through on crushing and getting the treasures, because it's like you just open up a little guide and be like, okay, this is where the next treasure is. It's a very kind of grindy like MMO kind of feel.
For the treasures, I did that on like whatever.
I did that too. Like originally I did a treasure run, like I went through on really easy difficulty and tried to get all the treasures. And then, but now like if I were to do this, I would go through 1, 2, 3 and Lost Legacy on crushing, and I would follow a guide to get the treasures as I went. Because why not? Knock it out both ways. Like, that's fine. And I would probably, if I did this again, I would play through Uncharted 4, which is the only one that I actually do have a platinum in. But I would just play it on normal, just see the story, and then go to Lost Legacy. It bums me out that I never did Lost Legacy, because that one's not a hard platinum.
The only one is the Vita one. I never got that platinum, but I platinumed 1, 2, 3, Lost Legacy, and 4.
Yeah. See, I think that'd be so fun, because like I literally did that for about an hour. I just opened up PS5 trophies, I guess at this point, YouTube channel, and just was like, okay, this next bit is where a trophy is, and like just kind of it's grindy. It's like a grindy sort of. It's an MMO type deal. It's fun.
I can never go back.
I will say Uncharted 1 controls much worse than even 3. Like playing 3
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
I
going
can-
to 1, I was like, whoa.
even like Mass Effect. So like I had to do some stuff with my save file from Mass Effect 1 to bring it to Mass Effect 2. It was really weird, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to test it out. One, I don't know when Mass Effect 2 came out, but like it is still so limited. Like when you go into the controls, it says like camera sensitivity, and it's like low,
like
medium,
slow,
and high.
medium,
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And so I crank it to low, and my mouse is still just zooming everywhere. So I have to like create a profile on my mouse. I turned my DPI to 100.
Damn.
And then
Isn't that like the lowest the DPI
that's the
can
lowest
go?
it could go.
Yeah,
And
it
then
can
I'm like,
go.
okay, now it's not bad. But then when you go into the menu, your
then the mouse is like-
it's just like I'm like dragging my mouse trying to get to the menu. So I have like a DPI shift button to like switch like DPI kind of profiles.
Damn.
So like when I'm in the menu, I go to like 800, and then when I go outside of when I'm in when I'm in the game, I switch to 100. But if there's like a second where I forget to switch and I'm like going to the game, and then I'm just like, whoa. God,
great.
I can't wait.
Man.
Like I really hope they remaster that part
Yeah.
in some aspect.
I bet they'll add like more actual sensitivity
Controls and
if they don't,
yeah.
that'll be rough.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Even
Yeah.
one wasn't that bad, but
So that was just in 2 where it did that?
yeah.
Oh, it's weird.
But I finally like I played just the intro mission. I'm gonna replay it because I want to stream it. But I played it just to like kind of get all my key bindings and stuff done. Then I don't
Yeah.
have to like keep pausing and doing that. And I think I finally got it down all right. And I think it'll just be muscle memory after like I'll just keep
Yeah.
playing it and it'll get better. But
Yeah, comfort food games, man, that's kind of what I've been trying to do lately, but it's Uncharted 3 is one of those where it was really weird where like a sequence would start and I'd be like, I know exactly what's going on here. Like if I go up here, like I was in the fucking Matrix.
Yeah.
In that game. And it's so rare. Like Uncharted 3 is probably one of the only ones where I could do that with. And at least the opening like 4 hours. At certain points it gets a little more misty. But
I've replayed the Mass Effect ones like constantly. I replay Final Fantasy X. I replay Final Fantasy 12.
I used to replay.
Those
Man,
are probably
one
like
of
the
things,
two. It'll
one of
probably
the things that
remake
really
will probably
bums
get in
me out-
there.
Yeah. One of the things that really bummed me out for a long time is that like PS4 remastered pretty much all of my favorite like PS3 games, and like at the time they were like some of my favorite games, and they were all remastered in like 60 FPS. I was like, oh, this is great. So I can go back for comfort food stuff whenever, right? Like the Uncharted collection. And I used to play a lot back in the day. I used to play a lot of Black Ops Zombies. So in Black Ops 3, they remastered all the old maps. So like Ascension in Black Ops 1 Zombies, that map, I fucking like that is another like I see into the Matrix. I go in here, I go over to this window. I know exactly like what I do each round to get up to like I played so much of that shit. So it was those two, and then there were a couple others that there were remasters of. But the one that they never fucking did is Infamous. They never did an Infamous remaster. Because Infamous 1 and 2, man, like 2 is probably the game that I replayed the most just for fun because I was a kid and didn't know anything about trophies, didn't know they fucking existed, and I was just like, this game is awesome, and I just like restarted it. I just played that game like 6 times. Like the Infamous 2, I just really liked it. So that would also absolutely be a comfort food game to just hop back into, but it's not playable.
Man, and if you like fire that up on a PS3 now, it is.
I will say,
it looks rough.
It does look rough, but I did fire it up like about probably 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah, probably about 2. And the gameplay though, I was like, this still feels really good. Like the powers still feel really great. I was like, wow, I'm surprised.
I can picture, especially Infamous 1, how it looks.
Oh, Infamous 1 visually looks real rough. Like even at the time when I played it, I was like, ooh, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's I never really, because it has a very different art style. It's very like yellow.
Yeah.
It's just yellow everywhere. But
can you imagine? Like,
Infamous
just
2, I love the
think of Infamous, and you have that picture in your mind, and then you fast forward, and then now you have like Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Or even comparing it to Second Son is wild.
Yeah.
Like the like Infamous 1, man, I'm telling you, it does not look good.
No.
Like there's not very many like NPCs or anything like that. Like it's a very kind of bare and kind of weirdly, like the atmosphere in that city is like weirdly like doom and gloom. Like it's, and I get that that's kind of the point, but it's like so like end of the world at all times. Like it's always raining.
It's end of the world, but yet there's still people just walking on the sidewalks.
Yeah, and the story's not supposed to really be end of the world. Like it's kind of apocalyptic, but not really.
I wonder if like having, because it's like overcast all the time in the first one,
and even in Second Son, which is in Seattle, it's not overcast all the time.
But it's like I wonder if that's just because of some of the limitations. Like if they had a blue sky and they had all these reflections, it's like they couldn't handle that on the PS3.
Oh, dude, one thing I will say about Infamous 2 is like I think one of my first concepts of frame rate was playing that game when I looked up at the sky and like it was like slow doing it, and then it was like, and then when you're looking at the sky, you can move around super fast. There's like no like sort of slowdown or anything, and I was always so confused as to that as a kid. And then later I was like, oh, it's because it's 60 frames. It's because it's because the frame rate didn't have to look at the city, you know. It's wild.
Render everything in the city,
yeah. But yeah, I played a little bit of Uncharted 3. Played a little bit of Drake's Fortune. I watched Lord of the Rings and Two Towers, or Fellowship in Two Towers. And that was kind of my Christmas. I just lounged around with Ion. I opened a couple of presents, which I had 4 because my parents brought those up when they visited, which was nice. One thing, totally forgot I had mentioned this to my mom, but she got me this dope Destiny 2 bomber jacket, and it's awesome. It looks great. I'm a big fan of that. I'm very excited.
I still have to order my jacket.
Do I have anywhere to wear that?
I have to. No. I have to before I forget. Because the code is only good until like the 31st.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, the new parka.
Yeah.
You gotta get your parka, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll use the parka. I'll probably get it in June. It'll probably like arrive here in June.
Will in Canada.
But I'll use it like next year when it's winter.
Yeah.
I watched Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, nice. See, this is great because you watched Wonder Woman. I don't know if you watched Soul, but I watched Soul.
I haven't watched Soul. I'm gonna watch Soul, I think, tonight.
Great. Perfect. We can talk about both of them.
But we can't talk like spoilers for either.
No,
really.
But we can give general thoughts about both.
Yeah. Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I watched that on Christmas.
I don't know. DC, what are you doing?
I watched Soul for like lunch. I listed literally everything that I did, but I didn't mention that movie. But that movie was great, and I did watch that. I watched that for around lunchtime. Like I made myself a little bit of like easy food because I didn't make the full dinner, and then I sat down and watched Soul. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch Wonder Woman like later tonight because Soul's only like an hour and 45 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's probably shorter than Wonder Woman. I didn't even look, but I was like, I'll do Pixar right now. You know, that sounds fun. And then I was like, I'll watch Wonder Woman later tonight, probably. I was thinking about maybe even doing 2 movies that day, you know? And then later I opened up Twitter and saw people start to talk about Wonder Woman, and I was like, oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I just don't for now. But I think I am going to watch it, but I'm glad I'm a little more prepared.
Like, I love Pedro Pascal, but it's like I love him as an actor, so maybe that's just that. So he's great in his role.
Cool dude, you know.
Yeah, and he just seems like just like a nice guy.
Cool guy. Yeah. Nice guy.
So he's great. Kristen Wiig, really great in it as well. Kind of like I never really thought of her as obviously as like she's like in comedy. She's from SNL, and so it's like it's very hard for me to think of her as like a comic book.
Who does she play? Is she the cheetah?
She's Cheetah, yeah. But it actually played off pretty well.
Yeah.
But like everything else is just like
maybe I won't watch it tonight.
It's just
I'm scared though.
I don't know. I
It's just I don't know.
they really were going after the Captain Marvel, like, oh hey, this is a 1980s movie, so let's just throw 80s in your face. And it's just like, okay, we get
Which
it.
is okay
It's
if you also
80s.
have a functioning movie with it. But I just
Yeah,
heard
but
that
like,
there's a lot of
I
like
don't know.
unexplained plot threads and like it's I don't know. I heard that a lot of people really like the first hour, or like first hour and a half,
Yeah.
and then after that, it's like
it's kind of just like, what is the I kept asking, like, what's the point? I don't get, what is the point? Where's this going? And then it just goes to like, oh, okay. And yeah, it's
oh man,
I don't know.
that's sad.
It's pretty.
I was really excited about it because I actually really dug the first Wonder Woman. I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. But yeah, I don't know what DC is doing with movies. I don't know. I don't think they can have a cinematic universe that works together.
Well, no, and I don't think they're really even trying anymore. Were they trying with this one? I mean, I know
Not
with this
really.
one they at least like somewhat connected it, but it's not really supposed to be.
No, because it's a prequel still. It's still before Batman v Superman.
Okay.
Which again, I don't like. I don't like prequels when it doesn't really have, like, when you know what's gonna happen, like, you know, okay, well, you're just gonna save the day because you're alive now.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does this, unless it affects something in the current timeline, like Captain Marvel, like it was a prequel, but it also did tie into stuff that are like, okay, well, this is gonna make sense in like the next current timeline movie.
And it was very purposefully for like the next movie. Like I'm pretty sure.
I think it was.
That was between Infinity War and Endgame, right? Or was it before Infinity War?
Because
okay.
The end credit scene was the pager to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So like that's okay when it does a prequel like that, because it's kind of tying everything in together. But like Wonder Woman was after Batman v Superman. And it was just an introduction to her where she was in World War I. I was like, okay, well, that doesn't really have any like
But like you can have a good story. Like all that you know about Wonder Woman, where she is now in Batman v Superman, is that she's alive. Like, really, that's it. So it's like you can still have an interesting story. Like most interesting stories don't involve the person dying. You know what I mean?
But I guess have it before. Don't have it as a prequel. Have it before Batman v Superman.
Well, yeah, I mean that's fair. I think that is the ideal way to.
Because you see her as like this cool person now, and then you see her not as cool before.
Dude, tell me how many times do you hear that?
Oh, they do a lot of renditions of that.
I'll take it. That's the one good thing I'll take. Hell yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't know if like the CGI, I don't know. It just didn't look great. Some of the action
Cheetah
scenes
in that one trailer did not look fantastic.
No, like there's some other parts where I'm just like, it's an interesting take the way they went with it. And it's Patty Jenkins, and I love Patty Jenkins because she's doing the Rogue Squadron movie, so that's gonna be really cool.
I mean, she did the first Wonder Woman as well, so I'm kind of, that's why I was a little surprised. I figured it'd be pretty, at least universally, like, oh, this is pretty good. You know, I figured at least it would be about that.
Not the worst DC movie, but like
that's good. But that's not a high bar to really.
It's behind, you know, Birds of Prey.
It has a really like. Wait, what?
Shazam. Birds of Prey was good. I like Birds of Prey.
No, sorry, I thought you meant that as in like it was better.
Birds of Prey is probably my favorite DC movie if we're not including Joker, because Joker's. If we include Joker, then Joker is probably my favorite. But then Birds of Prey, and then
I will say, okay, so when Wonder Woman 1984, when the reviews first started coming out, I looked on Rotten Tomatoes and it was like a 33% or something, and I was like, oh, what? But I just went and looked, and it's at a 66% now, which is at least like, you know, double what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I will say Soul has a 97.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, very good.
And you look at any of the Marvel movies, like even the worst Marvel movie, Iron Man 2, probably has a bigger.
I might agree with you there.
A bigger Rotten Tomatoes than 66.
I'm curious. What is it?
I think people like Iron Man 2, so actually you would probably
It has a 72. It has a 72%.
Put Thor 2. Put Thor Dark World, because people think that one's the worst, but it's not. Iron Man 2 is the worst.
Iron Man 2 is the worst.
It is so bad.
Thor: The Dark World, 66%. Exact same as Wonder Woman 1984. There you go.
I didn't mind Thor: The Dark World.
Are there any that could have a lower score?
No, it's just those two are probably the worst out of all of the. There's maybe the Incredible Hulk or Iron Man 3.
Ooh, I'm gonna look up Hulk. I think I remember people really disliking Iron Man 3 at the time, but like critics were mostly. I remember being mostly positive.
I'm biased.
Incredible Hulk 67%. Just one more buck.
Because of Edward Norton, man.
Yeah, I actually didn't hate the Hulk movie.
No, I like
not a great third act, but like
not the Hulk, but the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. The Hulk, just Hulk is bad. Is a bad movie, but it's a bad movie. But I like I like what they did visually, because they made like the scenes change as like different comic strips. So it would go from like it would zoom out and it would look like a comic book, and then it would go to the next scene sometimes like that. And I'm like, oh, I like that. Cool. But that's the only thing that I liked about that movie.
Iron Man 3 has a 79%, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, and you have Marvel movies that constantly get better. Okay. It's just so hard to have this movie, and then you put it up against those movies, and I don't know. This is like the fourth movie now. This is the fourth movie that she's been in.
It's very odd because
she's been in Batman v Superman, Justice League, Wonder Woman, and now Wonder Woman 1984. And honestly, I don't see, and I know it's a prequel, but like I don't see her character that much. Like her as a character. No, I mean like
I was about to say, I was like, is she not in the movie that much?
not like movie see her, but like know her as a character.
Yeah. I mean, because they weirdly did her showing up in Batman v Superman for the first time, just being there, and then it was Wonder Woman, I believe, and then Justice League. But even Wonder Woman, like you do get a lot about her, and you do learn more about her, and you do kind of get in her head, but it's still like weird because it's after. It's after like having her be there, so you're like, okay, I guess now we got to kind of catch up, you know?
I just always put it up against like, okay, so you have Captain America. He was in that. He was in Avengers. He was in Winter Soldier, and then he was in. Well, I guess it's just the amount of movies. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
There's just so much more progression, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I guess DC just hasn't gotten there yet. I don't know if they will get there.
It's such a weird thing to think about because, like, it's not. I wanted to be like, oh, man, I guess they just don't have, like, the creative talent that Disney has because it's like Disney has a shit ton of money. But then you start thinking about it, it's like, well, like, what's the. James Gunn is doing Suicide Squad. So it's like they could have gotten these people, but they just didn't, I guess, make the right choices to get the right people for it. Who knows? It's weird. Because personally, as somebody who does read comics, not as much as I'd like to, but has in the past, we'll say that. I prefer DC characters. I just prefer the characters in the universe. So it's like, I really wish the movies were better, but they're not. But it's like, they totally could be. There's no reason for them not to be. A lot of the characters are the fucking same. The Flash is fucking Quicksilver. Like, you know, there's a lot of characters that are very similar.
Nobody really cares about Quicksilver.
No.
Except that he's Magneto's son, and that's about it.
I mean...
Whereas, like, Scarlet Witch
in a lot of the movies, people were like... in a lot of the X-Men movies, people were like, oh, Quicksilver's best part. That one scene where he runs real fast.
But that's because those later X-Men movies aren't great. Because, one, they don't have Wolverine in them. When you have a movie without Wolverine, when like the majority of the X-Men movies, he's like the poster boy, it's kind of like, it's like taking Cap out like right away. If they took him out right away, you're like, oh wait, he's not the leader, or he's not like the leader of the Avengers, that kind of stuff. It's a little weird. And they put Mystique as like the leader of the X-Men. Not well, like besides Charles, but like, and then you have Jennifer. What's her name?
Lawrence.
Jennifer
Star
Lawrence,
of the
who
Hunger
like
Games.
in maybe the first movie she looked like she was having a fun time, but then every movie after that I was like,
It's like,
"Man,
get me out of here.
You're phoning it in like so bad."
Okay, so I will say, I don't know why you mentioned Jennifer Lawrence, and that reminded me of Hunger Games, which then reminded me of Percy Jackson. We've been talking a lot about those books since I've been playing Immortals, and that's all Greek gods and whatnot. I think I'm gonna reread those books. Should I?
I thought you were gonna say watch the movies.
God, no, but I did go and watch the trailer for the first movie because I was like, I remember it being so bad and hating it so much. And I was watching the trailer and I was like, honestly, they're kind of hitting a lot of the story beats here. Like it's a little more accurate than I had remembered. Like maybe I was a little more nitpicky. But I mean the main difference is the fact that they're like 17 and they're supposed to be 12. So that's a little weird. But I don't know, watching the trailer I was like, huh. But there is the fact that they again kill the main villain for the 5-book series at the end of the first movie. They just throw a trident at him in the neck and he flies off the Empire State Building. But then apparently comes back in the second movie. So who knows?
Wasn't that Liam Neeson?
No, that was Luke, who I don't know who played him, but I don't think. I mean, it was supposed to be a high schooler, so like Liam Neeson. I will say, Sean Bean though. Watching that trailer, Sean Bean is Zeus, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And because I didn't know at the time.
What movie is Liam Neeson Zeus? There's a movie.
I mean, he could be Poseidon. Let's see.
No, Poseidon is the dude from Grey's Anatomy. That's what I remember.
Was it? Let's see.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember from that movie.
Cast. Liam Neeson is listed in here somewhere. So
he's Zeus, or no, maybe he's Hades. No, that
could be.
No, Hades is Voldemort, I think.
Hades is Voldemort. What a phrase.
Hades is
what a
sentence. Ray Fiennes. Voldemort.
Hades is Voldemort. Oh
I'm pretty
my God.
sure.
Also, apparently Emily Kinney was in this movie. Why? When? I didn't know any of this.
Probably one of those. She's probably.
This is not true. This is not accurate. This is not
IMDb.
Oh well, I'm on an IMDb article that says Percy Jackson cast, and it lists people. That's what I got when I searched Liam Neeson, Percy Jackson. But instead, now I'm gonna look up Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief IMDb. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of rereading those books. I also really want to. I really want to read Lord of the Rings, but like I've been saying that for years.
I want to reread. I want to reread Animorphs.
Nice.
Not really though.
It's like wait, this is not
Animorphs was. I loved Animorphs as a kid.
Is that Animorphs?
It's gone. It was a book series, way before a show. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look at this. Shit.
And they have like the cover was like the person slowly turning into an animal.
Yup.
Fuck yeah.
Yup. That's
I wanted to be
a little
an
terrifying.
So bad.
Huh. Oh my God, look at these covers. That's amazing. Let's see. I will say, yeah, Alexandra Daddario was Annabeth. Sean Bean was Zeus. Rosario Dawson was Persephone. Didn't know she was in that movie.
She's everywhere.
Uma Thurman is Medusa.
Medusa, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know almost.
That's a star-studded cast
when I watched this movie, but now I do. Too bad it fucking sucked.
I think Liam Neeson's Zeus in Clash of the Titans.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where he's.
I will say people in my chat when I was streaming and talking about this, they were all like, "Oh, when are we doing a Percy Jackson movie night?" And I was like, "God damn it, you just want me to suffer." That I might actually do that though, because that'd be fun to at least like, joke on it, and then part of me is like, now I kind of want to watch the second movie because it's probably even worse. Oh, that'd be fun. And it's okay. I can laugh at this now. I can laugh at my own pain because I know they're making a Disney Plus show, so it's okay. It's okay. We're getting a second try. I can just laugh. Probably at the first try. It's fine. Haha, hilarious. You fucked up first time. Now we'll do better. Okay, we took a little break. Hello, we're back, and I do want to say there are two things that I want to be sure that I talk about before the end of this. Okay. My timer is also definitely fucked up now, so
I think we're like 10 minutes.
Okay, good enough.
It was about 10.
But okay, there are two things that I definitely want to talk about. One, I will talk about very quickly. Legends of Tomorrow had an amazing finale, and it was great. It was so good. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna describe it.
That's good.
But it was amazing and stupid and incredible, and it was great. Apparently, I looked it up, by the way. Apparently, they got that guest like 4 days in advance. Like, they planned out the whole thing, and then we're like, fuck, we didn't call him. We didn't actually call and see if we could get the guest star. And then they called him, and the dude's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll fly out. I'm like, that's great.
So, like, the behind the scenes of this show is just as messy as the show.
Yep.
That's great.
I'm like, awesome. Great. I love that. But yeah, it was hilarious.
I've powered through, I'm almost done season 3 of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hell yeah. Was the season 1 twist just as dope as it was the first time?
It was. I think.
Probably not as much because you knew it was coming, but you know.
I liked the season 2 mid twist with, Sky getting powers. I like that.
Wow, I didn't realize that happened so early.
Me too. I was like, wow, this.
That's surprising.
So yeah, so I think that season 4 is the season that I don't like, and that's the one with Ghost Rider. Because right now I'm still liking everything. I just watched last night. It was the Bobby and Hunter final episode, and I started tearing up. And I'm like, why?
I don't
get it. I don't get it. It's not a mid. it's not a mid-season finale. It's just an episode. Yeah, it's just an episode.
Yeah, that's what surprised me so much.
Wow. And
it's just like an incredible episode, just randomly in there.
So what I remember is that I think they were supposed to have their own show, and then that got canned.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, and so that's why they were going off of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they were going to have because her code name's Mockingbird or something like that.
Huh. This sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was Mockingbird. I forget what it's gonna be called, but then they're gonna have a spinoff, and then that just got canned, and then they're just off the show. She was really good. Wow. I really like her. She was kind of like a Black Widow for the TV stuff.
It was supposed to be a show called Marvel's Most Wanted. It's an unaired American television pilot based on the comic characters Bobby Morris and Lance Hunter. It is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and blah, 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 blah. Weird. Yeah, so they filmed a pilot and never did the show. Yeah. That's a bummer.
Because then they could have still been on S.H.I.E.L.D.
It makes sense because S.H.I.E.L.D. itself was not going to continue forever. S.H.I.E.L.D. had its fans, but it was pretty kind of a
so far the acting is still all right. It's not great. Yeah. But I liked all the stuff with I think it is just being able to binge it is so much better than waiting week to week. Because I'm remembering all of these things that I've watched before, like when Gemma's on the other planet and they have to go and get her.
Oh my god, that episode is incredible.
It's really good.
Episode itself as a standalone episode, I was like, holy shit.
And it was put wild. Perfectly because it's kind of I don't think you see anybody else in that episode. It's just her and then Will.
It is it is a standalone kind of story, you know.
But then how they go in after her, and then when he kills Ward, and or even when he touches, there's so many great moments in that show, and I'm like, man, this is a really good show, and I'm like, I remember it getting bad, and so I'm just waiting for that season 4.
I'm telling you, I really don't think it ever got bad. I think it probably just got super slow to where
maybe just a little boring,
yeah, to where week by week it probably you were like, fuck it, you know. But I really don't think there was ever a season that was bad. But there were. I think the one that you're talking about with Ghost Rider was definitely one of the weaker seasons. Yeah. But I still didn't hate it, for sure. And I did actually like the Ghost Rider stuff. The actor for him was really cool, and that whole
thing was pretty cool. I just loved the stuff with Sky or Daisy. I liked her father's arc.
You're saying Sky. Now you're going back.
Well, because like before she was
because you've
like,
been watching it.
But like her dad's arc where he's like this like crazy like monster, but he's really just trying to protect his family. And then like at the end, they like erase his memory, and so he's just like a normal guy. And he doesn't remember Daisy, and that's when
Dude,
she
her
first
dad's
says,
arc, fuck.
because like he like visits her, or no, she visits him at like this veterinarian clinic. And then he's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Daisy." And then like that's like the defining moment where she changes her name. And I'm like, "Oh my god, it's so sad, but it's so nice."
Man, yeah. Shield is very good. If anyone is considering starting Legends of Tomorrow based on my advice, don't expect Agents of Shield quality.
No.
That's not what it is. It's purposefully stupid and bad. But yeah, Shield's great, man. I think you'll really like the last couple of seasons.
Or like the moment when Samuel Jackson pops in, you're just like, holy
oh, dude,
shit.
yeah, at the end of season 1, yeah, that shit was crazy. And then after that, it is like there's the what's her name, like Lady Civ or whatever.
Oh yeah, Lady Civ.
She shows up from Thor, and after that though, it's like they are never acknowledging the MCU ever again.
Yeah,
they talk about it like every now and then, like brief little mentions, but like it's never connected like that ever again, because that's when the movie studio and the TV studio started being like, we're just not gonna worry about each other.
Which I don't know why. I guess like I want to know the reasoning.
They're doing it the way that they kind of intended with Disney Plus and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for a while, I mean, I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, I think Kevin Feige was like in charge of both of them at one time, and then was just like, I can't do this, and like kind of split.
Well, no, because a lot of it was Joss Whedon, the TV show, because I think he has background with like Buffy and whatnot for TV, and I think Joss Whedon, did he direct the first Avengers movie?
He did. Yeah, he was the director.
So I think like Kevin Feige was still the like god above, but then Joss Whedon was sort of pulling the strings with Shield, and then the Avengers, and then when it started getting after the Avengers, where we had a lot more, I think I don't know what it is, I don't know why they did the things that they did. But it could have been so cool. Well, like I don't know why they separated it, because it would be cool to have like if like Quake is now like, you could, especially Disney can bring her back.
Yeah,
they could somehow.
I was about to say something, but it's kind of spoilers, so I'm gonna be careful. But there's a moment at the end of the season that I'm not even gonna say it. I'll wait because I'm sure we'll talk about it when you're done. But it does kind of do with like connecting or not connecting or whatever. But yeah, the first season is very tied kind of intrinsically, and even the second one somewhat, and then they're just like, nah, we're done with that. Which kind of leads to some cool shit, but I don't know. It is a bummer because like there was a bunch of cool Marvel TV, and they never really connected any of it the way that they should have, and it's a bummer, but like I've just let go of that now, and now we're moving on to where Disney Plus is doing that.
I just want
Maybe
Quake
we'll do it in the future.
in the MCU.
That's
just cherry pick
not
it.
gonna happen. But what I want
is
Charlie Cox Daredevil. Yeah.
Why?
I will say, like,
she doesn't have powers like anybody else.
That's true. She's have like unique powers.
Yeah.
So that's true. I mean, you never know.
She was an Avenger.
I don't know.
In the comics.
Yeah.
I mean, just cherry pick Daisy from Shield and put her in like I don't know any
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, something like that. There. That's how she gets introduced again. I'd be down with that.
I would also like that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, and I only say that because like people have. I mentioned Daredevil, but like that is a thing on the internet of like. And people have been trying to get Daredevil into the MCU for years. And like people were mad when they didn't show him or any of the Netflix characters in like Infinity War, when they were doing like the fade, right? Like people thought they were gonna at least have like a brief like shot of maybe him disappearing or something, and people were like mad that didn't happen. They weren't mad about like Agents of Shield. Like people had just accepted that Shield is its own thing and like it's done. But like that's why it's like, and there are rumors that Matt Murdock is supposed to be in the third Spider-Man movie.
Everybody's supposed to be in that goddamn movie.
Yeah, I know. Hey man, quick. Announce it tomorrow yourself. Just be like, what's her name? Damn it, I forgot her name.
Chloe Bennett?
The actress. Yes, Chloe Bennett confirmed in Spider-Man 3 as Quinn. Just tweet it. There you go. That's how you make it happen, really.
I saw the meme tweets where they were like just posting actors in like other movies. They're like, oh, they're gonna reprise their role as this person.
Chloe had Echo Chloe had a really good
Johnny
one.
Depp.
There's no way I can
Johnny
find
Depp
it
will
now.
reprise his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in Spider-Man 3.
That's really good. Oh my god. Harrison Ford will reprise his role as Han Solo as a Force ghost.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna be a little too much.
I mean, I've been worried about that, but we'll see.
At first, I was like, "Oh, cool! They're bringing Toby and Andrew back," and then they're like, "Oh, now we're bringing back this guy. Oh, and now we're bringing back this guy." And I'm like, "Okay."
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. They do have to formulate it in a specific way, but like, you could absolutely like, it could even just be some of those villains that are being brought back shown for a second.
Yeah,
like that could totally be it. And we're all like, oh, is it going to be too many main characters? It's like, probably not going to, any of them are going to be main characters, you know? Like, we're probably making more out of the headlines than what it is. But I don't know. We'll see. I am excited about that, though, because whatever it is, it's going to be super fucking interesting. And even just Andrew and Toby, like, that's fucking cool. Like, that's cool.
Toby's old.
Yeah.
He's probably like, he was Spider-Man in 2001.
I want to look up a current picture of Tobey Maguire.
He hasn't acted probably in anything. Same with Andrew Garfield though. Like
die or anything. Like he's still out there.
But like, what have they been in?
Like,
yeah, I don't think they've really been. Spider-Man killed their careers. No, because Tobey Maguire did stuff after he was Spider-Man, but like
Andrew Garfield's definitely been in other shit, but it's like it looks like smaller, like indie kind of movies.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's been in movies, but
and then people were talking about Emma Stone coming back as Gwen. And then like because what is it, Spider-Gwen? And I'm like, didn't Gwen die?
Hella dead. That's like the most brutal scene in any Spider-Man movie is when she fucking gets her back and neck snapped. And
I hated that movie because it was like not a Spider-Man movie.
So
it was like it was a romantic drama with a splash of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly kind of the parts about it that I liked, and that's because they saw that working in the first movie. Like Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield's chemistry was really good.
I still just don't
like that. So they're like, oh, we're just gonna double down on it.
But he's not supposed to end up with Gwen Stacy. He's supposed to end up with Mary Jane.
I don't give a shit. He can end up with whoever he wants. You know?
No,
Spider-Man be happy.
It's Peter and Mary Jane. That's it. That's done. Wow. Everybody else,
let tradition die.
No.
Tyson, okay.
No, why don't you make news stories?
Age. This is 2020, man. Come on.
Make news stories.
That's the point.
No, we don't have news stories with like old characters.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
Again, that's why I'm like
build off an old framework.
That's why I like Miles, because it's like a new story, new character. You can do stuff with that. But Peter, like why change who he ends up with? Everybody knows he's supposed to be with MJ. Nobody likes Gwen. Nobody likes Gwen Stacy.
I like Gwen. I watched Spectacular Spider-Man, you know, like when I was a kid.
Isn't that like Haley Steinfeld?
So like I liked Gwen. Is it?
So I think she was in
that would be wild.
I think she's
I was watching that when I had no idea.
I think that's Spider-Verse
whatsoever.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, that's Spider-Gwen and Spider-Verse, yeah.
So she's the only actress who's playing two different Marvel characters at the same time. Because
that's not true. Thanos.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well,
guy?
technically they weren't, because they weren't the same studio. Like it was Fox before Marvel bought Fox.
Yeah, but this is Sony. Spider-Verse is Sony.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
you're right.
Different studios.
Never mind.
It's the same kind of deal, I think. Like, nope, hold on. But that's like Fox and Disney, and then Sony and Disney. But it's very few. It's like him and her, pretty much. I don't think there are any other.
Not that I can think of.
Chris Evans a long time ago with
no.
the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Chris Evans, but that was different, like not MCU anymore. And I was gonna say Ryan Reynolds, but he did play the same. He played the same character, but in two different studios.
Oh, really?
Not two different studios.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
Deadpool was still Fox, but two different like timelines.
Two different times.
Two different timelines.
Different time periods. Yeah.
Because
Oof. Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
The timer did just go.
Okay.
So we can.
We're in
talk about
overtime.
whatever and then wrap up. But I do want to mention something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I really shouldn't be thinking about it a lot. Have you watched Attack on Titan?
No.
Not at all. That's
Never.
interesting because that's rare.
It's never.
Okay.
It's never. I like.
That's super interesting.
Colorful anime.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I
a
mean
Dragon
that's totally fair.
Ball
It's just
kinda
it
guy.
like blew up at one point. I think it was like, I don't know, it was when I was still in high school. It like blew up. Like season 1 was really popular, so it got a lot of people on it. And then it's been super interesting because season 1 was super popular. They stopped for like 4 years, like straight up 4 years, and they were still just making the show. And then
Clones or Clone Wars.
Yeah. And then season 2 came out, and then I think relatively quickly season 3 also came out. But like when it came back, people who watched season 1 was like, "Oh shit, finally." And they started watching, but then it kind of started to do very different things than season 1, and the people who watched it 4 years ago, a lot of them fell off because they were, and it also happened pretty quickly. So like very not well adjusted to that when you waited 4 years for the first follow-up. So it was kind of a lot. So I feel like a lot of people fell off. But like I started watching, there's so many like video essays of like, holy shit, Attack on Titan is amazing now. People stop watching, but this shit's crazy. And it totally is. And I don't know. The last season is airing right now. It literally says like the final season on the opening card. Like they're trying to be like, this is it. And it's very, very good, but it's very, very ambitious. I wish I could talk more about it with like spoilers and whatnot, but it's just so, what they are trying to do with this season, with this final season, is like, if they nail it, it will be possibly one of the best written shows I've ever seen. Like,
Huge.
It's
Huge.
huge. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, it's terrifying. But if they don't, I don't know. I'm just worried that like they're not gonna nail it. But I start thinking back, and I'm like, everything that they have done so far indicates that this has been clear and planned out from the beginning. You wouldn't know that from season 1, but like when I am looking back at everything that has come out so far, it is like this was very clearly a plan. And I don't think they're gonna not have a plan for the final season. But I'm just a little worried because the first 3 episodes so far are focusing on like a different set of characters, which is totally fine and could be very useful for wrapping that up and like showing a different kind of perspective, and very cool to bring it all full circle. But like, if you don't get back to a certain group of characters in at least at some point, and if this whole final season is this one group, I'm gonna be very upset. But like, I don't think they do that because I don't know. But it's wild. Once
Me
it's
and
done,
anime
I am absolutely gonna read the manga. I think
me and anime have
I don't know.
weird relationship. I always like
Same.
start a show, and I'll like get really into it, and then never finish the season.
Yeah.
So I'm like 3/4 of the way done Shield Hero, 3/4 of the way done Demon Slayer. Is Is it Demon Slayer?
I was thinking of starting Demon Slayer because of all this.
It's really good.
Stuff
but like I've just never finished them, and then I just fall off, and it never. Same with like Dr. Stone. I watched the first couple episodes, and then it just never. I don't know what it is. Like I like anime, but it never grabs me enough. I think because I like
it has to be really good. Like
I think I need
very
dubbed
few.
because for subbed you have to be like 100% concentrating on it.
Yeah,
like
I will say the
can't
Attack
do
on
anything
Titan
else.
dub is apparently pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like in
Dub's
the
most of the
second
time.
season, I think, but the I think the first season was pretty good, but then like the second season they kind of like rushed it or something. I don't know, but I get that. But that's partially why I do like anime, is because a lot of the times it forces me to actually pay attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that means I don't watch nearly as much of it.
Yeah. Soon I might not need dubbed because I downloaded Duolingo and I'm learning Japanese.
That was my goal. I will be thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
If you do it. That's awesome.
I've got a 3-day streak already. It's going good.
Oh,
Japanese is not too bad, but this is literally like the first. I did Japanese and I did French. I'm not gonna go back and forth constantly, but Japanese I'm gonna see how far I can go with it.
Nice.
And it's like you got nothing else to do sometimes when you're like still in like quarantine or whatever, and it's like, why not learn another language?
Nice.
Especially Japanese.
Yeah, I've wanted to learn Japanese for a long time. Will I ever? I don't know, but I've always wanted to.
I know some words.
Yeah.
And I know like
I do too, and that's mostly from anime.
Yeah. But it's like when you watch anime and then you hear a word and you're like, I know what that means. I was like, that's cool. So slowly, hopefully, it'll.
That's true. I will say though, I know that you said that you like lighter kind of shows, but like honestly, dude, I would still like. It is very interesting because, like I said, like if they fuck up this last season, it'd be so Game of Thrones. Like it would be they would have to try very hard because their track record throughout the other 3 seasons has been amazing. It is very much not a light tone, but like the fucking writing in that show is so good, and even just the characters, like it is very well planned. Like it is very Avatar: The Last Airbender in that way of like how it is a planned out kind of deal. I don't know. I would definitely suggest it, especially season 1. Season 1 in and of itself is what grabbed so many people because that was really like really big in America for a while, and it's relatively simple at the beginning. Season 2 and 3 get a lot more complicated, but like season 1 is
I just
pretty
know
simple
it from like,
concept.
the stuff I've seen probably like on Twitter where it's like
I was gonna say if you haven't actually tried to watch the pilot,
these big monsters that look like humans but they don't have
babies.
Skin. They don't have
big
skin.
Old baby
they
skin.
got like all the muscles and the tendons, and I'm just okay, this is weird.
Dude, I would legitimately suggest the pilot because it's very like when you're thrown into it, you're very like, oh fuck. Like it is terrifying. The first episode specifically is terrifying. And it's like it's terrifying, but it's very much a world that is built out like already. So it does kind of interest you in going further than the first one. It's so good. I will say there's one twist in that show that I think is like the worst cliffhanger I've ever done from one episode to another, but it was Netflix, so I just started the next one. Yeah. So I was like, oh fuck you. But like it was like the way it ended was I was like, how dare they? But it's genuinely really good. But man, I'll keep people updated when that final season ends. It's like I think there's supposed to be 16 episodes and they're 3 in and it's releasing weekly. So should be done in a couple months. It's kind of cool though when I think about it. I'm like, oh wow, that's gonna be going for a little bit. I'll have like new episodes each week for a bit. That's cool. But yeah,
I'm just holding out for.
I might start.
WandaVision. We're almost in the home stretch. We got like a couple. We got like 2 weeks left.
I will say, so I have this website that tracks the shows that I watch because I'm a dork like that. So every now and then I'll open it to see if there are like new episodes for other stuff, or to see like what would I start next that's like on my list of things that I want to start. And every time I open it now, the first thing is Umbrella Academy season 2 that has 10 episodes, and I'm like, do I want to? I really don't think that I do. I don't know why. Everybody really liked that show, and I really didn't that much. It's not bad, but like, people made that show out to be Daredevil, and it was a lot more Arrow than I expected. Dude. No. Nobody mentions that. No. There are so many like moments of cheese in that show, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's done like in a good way. Like, you can still be cheesy and do it in a good way.
But it's not any different. Like, it's still cheesy and weird in like the writing sometimes, especially the dialogue is very weird. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else did. But it's not to say I didn't like it, but I don't know if I want to.
I don't get everybody's fascination with Daredevil. He's not that cool.
Well, I don't even mean the character. I just mean the show. The show's very good.
No, I know, but you were saying like, oh, people want Daredevil in the MCU. And I'm like, why?
People do.
He's not that cool. He's cool,
but Quake is better.
I mean, yeah, she actually has powers. What did Matt Murdock got blinded by some fucking acid, and now he can see.
Wow. But he can't.
He can see echolocation.
They should call him Batman.
So pretty much all you got to do is put some earphones on him, and he's fucked.
But it's also smell too. It's like it's all of his senses. You know.
Just so,
you're like no. No.
We've got enough. We had Hawkeye. We had Black Widow. I mean, like, people that don't actually have powers.
That's so minor in comparison to like DC of like the amount of superheroes that don't have powers. You know,
they don't
like,
have powers.
Marvel is very. I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Same with like Star-Lord. Star-Lord technically doesn't have any powers.
That's true. Well, I mean, he did at one point, and then his dad got destroyed.
Oh yeah, because he was half god.
Yeah, he was half celestial, like, but since that planet got destroyed,
yeah, I forgot about that.
He doesn't have any powers anymore. Remember when he turned himself into a big old Pac-Man? It's great. Good movie. Guardians.
I don't remember that. Guardians 2 is my favorite Marvel movie of all time.
And you don't remember him turning into Pac-Man? And when he was like, I'm going to make some weird shit. And then later in the movie, he turns into Pac-Man. It's like, wah, wah.
I remember so many parts of that movie, but I guess I don't remember that part. That's weird.
It goes by pretty quick.
Best part was Yondu. When he's like, hey, you remind me of Mary Poppins. It's like, was Mary Poppins cool? And he's like, yeah. And it's like, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
That was good.
That is the best part of that movie.
It was my favorite Marvel movie for a long time as well. I should rewatch it. I haven't seen it in a bit.
It's just so, it's so good. And like Groot as a teenager, fuck. It's
a great movie. But this has been an episode of Tyson and Teddy Talk where we just talk about random shit.
There's not a lot of stuff going on.
Comfort food, video games, and more TV.
Next week we should talk about our top 10 games of 2020.
Oh God, you're right, but that scares me.
It's the perfect time because it's like
it's Saturday the 2nd is when that'll be. Yeah,
that's perfect time for it. I think I have my list.
Game of the year discussions next week, y'all.
End of the year. You can do our favorite movies, favorite TV shows, favorite songs, favorite everything, favorite colors of 2020.
The other things. Favorite colors, dude. It's green, always green.
No,
I've been a lot more into blue lately, though.
So there you go. There you go. So your 2020 color is blue.
Yeah. Stay tuned for Tyson's 2020 color next week. Ooh.
Mine's probably the same.
It's probably purple.
Yeah, probably.
But okay. Thank you for watching. This one was a lot more laid back, which is always kind of a goal. So thanks for watching. This comes out every Monday on Tyson Teddy Talk on YouTube and also audio feeds under the same name. Find me on Twitter at Teddy Chinaris and Twitch and Instagram, all the same thing. Been playing a lot of Immortals Phoenix Rising late at night. Oh, I really wanted to talk about that too because you finished that. But I mean, I guess we'll probably talk about that.
Probably that, yeah. Next week in the top 10 for sure.
Your stuff. But yeah, and then I've been up late at night streaming that lately, and that's about it. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyson Pellegrini, Instagram Pellegrini_17, and Twitch, twitch.tv/tpellegrini. Either tonight or tomorrow, which this will come out Monday, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna try and start my Mass Effect 2 playthrough on Twitch, and I'm gonna try and play through the whole thing like on stream. That game I'm probably gonna spend a lot more time in. It won't be like an 11-hour playthrough. I'm gonna do all the side stuff. I'm gonna romance as many aliens as I can.
Nice. Just all the aliens.
Yeah, it's all the aliens. Well, there's a couple humans that I think I can romance.
Lame.
Like, you can't romance everybody if you're the female, and you can't romance everybody if you're the male. Which, yeah, that's very lame.
Stardew Valley does it better. You know?
Exactly. Well, hopefully the later Mass Effects will do away.
Could you do that in Andromeda? Would it let you do any of them?
I can't remember. I don't think I played enough to care to like romance any of them. I was like, no, you're all boring. There's a couple in Mass Effect 2 that I'm like, oh yeah, 100%. I always romance this person. Always.
All right. Well, watch the VOD and check out and see who Tyson romances.
Yeah.
I hate that. Yeah. We're ending on that sound.
Exactly.
All right. I'm going to maybe go watch Wonder Woman. I don't know. But y'all have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Peace.